destabilize Bangladesh, and they are destroying the country.
I think
I'm very sorry.
I think this has been such an important tweet, Kanchan Gupta, by Donald Trump, because you have a whole opposition in India which does not care about the plight of Hindus. And if Kanchan Gupta were to talk about it, he would be called a communal, right-wing, intolerant, Hindutva, venom-spewing Hindu. That is the kind of categorization that people like Vivek Srivastava would put of you. But now you see, even Trudeau commented on it. Did you see that today? Kanchanda, Trudeau commented on it. Everyone's talking about it. They don't know where to look. Now, what if Trump becomes president? What's the impact of what he said today? Kanchan Gupta.
Good evening, Arnab. Thank you for having me on your show. I don't want to get into an election in a foreign country, but I will just say this much, that what has happened is gradually the world is being forced to acknowledge that everything is not fine in Bangladesh, that targeted attacks on Hindus are happening. The compendium of attacks which was prepared by the organization that represents all the minority communities over there, that is primarily the Hindus, the Buddhists and the Christians. That document should now further gain credence and credibility, and somebody has to sort of call out the indifference of the regime in Dhaka. For instance, the manner in which vigilantes are going around in the countryside.
What does Trump want to do? Apart from his own election campaign.
Vivek, let him complete. Vivek, let him complete. Vivek, let him complete. I will come to you. I know you hate it when anybody speaks about Hindus being tortured, but have the patience to listen. Please continue, Kanchanda and Vivek. Just hold your horses for a minute. I will come to you.
You have vigilantes in the countryside who are trying to impose a dress code. You have targeted attacks on temples. Famous or well-known Durga Pujas which were held in Dhaka and its neighborhood could not be held this year because the Islamists there said that the same park is used for namaz and that it would become napak if a Hindu puja is held there. So all these things, and you have mentioned the Hindu teachers who have been forced to resign, including a pregnant Hindu woman who was sort of paraded by the Islamists down the street and then forced to resign. Now, to say that the attacks are happening on Awami League members is just subterfuge, and it doesn't wash. If you look at the attacks in the Chittagong Hill Tracts, the Buddhists the Chakmas are being attacked over there. Chakma women have been assaulted and raped. So all this, if you look at it in totality, we are, coincidentally or otherwise, this year's Lokhi Pujo coincides with what's happening in Bangladesh. Like the Noakhali in 1946, the Noakhali riots coincided with the Lokhi Pujo of that year. Now, I'm not saying that there is no solution to this. Of course, there is a solution to it, and the world must speak up. But sadly, while we are talking about the need for the world to speak up, you have creatures in India, self-loathing, self-hating Hindus who think that it is
strong language.
To speak up for Hindus in Bangladesh.
Strong language there.
And these creatures, and I refer to them as creatures, these creatures were also silent when the 1946 riots were happening, when the partition riots were happening.
On the debate which goes hot tonight, at a 9:15 this evening, and the debate as it goes hotter tonight at 9:15 this evening, my view, before I go to my next panelist, though I would request everyone, including the very erudite Kanchan Gupta, to stop describing any other co-panelist as a creature. He repeated the word creature 3 times for emphasis.
That's all right.
And that was avoidable in my view, but Kanchanda is a polemicist and has used it in that direction. Well, my view, I'm not saying all Muslims targeted all Hindus in Bangladesh. But to say, like the Wire says, that some student movement leaders took it upon themselves to guard Hindu temples, as some people say, noble Muslims are safeguarding vulnerable Hindus at the cost of their own lives. This is the positioning that is happening, right? Yes. Noble Muslims are safeguarding vulnerable and weak Hindus at the cost of their own lives. I believe this is false. Ladies and gentlemen, the story I like to recount is of a letter that went viral on social media by an assistant professor called Rontu Das, assistant professor at Chittagong University's history department, forced to resign, facing death threats. He resigned, but in his letter he talked about the discrimination he faced. And nobody spoke for him. Amerikai Narayanan didn't speak for him. Rahul Gandhi didn't speak for him. Moammad Yunus didn't speak for him. Vivek Srivastava will speak against him. And that's why tonight Donald Trump's position is making them shaky.
Yes,
my next speaker is Vivek Srivastava.
He needs Indian votes. That is the problem. And when he came